Yes. Hey guys, welcome to day 10 of the 2021 Hope Summit. Oh my goodness, I was just saying that I can't believe it's the last day, and it has also felt like it flew by. But I'm so grateful for all the speakers that we've had. So today, of course, we leave the best for last. Today, we have someone who is very dear to my heart, someone who's been a part of many of my programs. So I've gotten to know her over the last couple of, gosh, I think it's been a couple months. I think it's been like 6 months or so. And I've seen this woman grow, blossom, just come into her confidence, come into her own. And she is here to teach you today how to design your decorative life and how she's taken her love and her passion for creativity, for DIY crafts, for household hacks, and she's turned it into a beautiful business. I would love to introduce Miss Deb Koss.
Hello, thank you, Val, for asking me to be part of the summit.
Yes, I'm so excited that you're here, and I'm so excited too to share a little bit about what you do because the decorative life, like that is something that could be decorative life, like it's kind of encompassing in what you do. So can you share a little bit about you and a little bit about your business and what you do?
Well, the business kind of came apart from being my husband was unemployed 3 times in 2 years,
Hmm.
and it was rough. The refrigerator went out, the vacuum broke, the printer collapsed. It was like, oh my goodness, how do we deal with this? And you learn to fix the vacuum instead of buying a new vacuum, take it into the shop or do it yourself. And after going through all that and managing through and coming up with household hacks, screen cleaners, coupons, budgeting, I noticed everybody was coming to me for the hacks. Hey, what are you doing for dinner? Hey, how do you get that stain out? Hey, how do you cut your food budget?
Hmm.
And then I knew that was my time to start serving and helping moms,
Hmm.
because it's everybody was in the same boat. They're busy. They've got the kids underfoot. They want simpler, easy ways to do things. And that's how that came about. But all during my husband's unemployment, I couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do nothing. I window shop, but I still led a decorative life. I
Yeah.
DIY'd my own earrings.
Oh.
You do what you gotta do. It's all a matter of how you look at life.
Hmm. I love that because what I'm hearing in that is that you had this necessity where you were kind of forced. I don't want to say forced because that feels very out of control, but kind of like you had to shift and you had to figure this out. And I'm thinking about the moms that are watching this right now, and especially during this time, during the past 10 months. I mean, how many of us have had to shift, whether if you didn't cook or you now you're having to cut your husband's hair or do whatever it is. A lot of us are kind of feeling that right now, like homeschooling, all of those things. So I love that out of like a necessity, you created, like you figured it out, you created that way. That's so cool.
Yeah, you have to figure out what to do because you've got a limited grocery amount of budget. You got to look at the sales, you got to look at the coupons, you've got to figure out your meal plan according to what's on sale. And if you need cleaners, oh well, $6 for a new cleaner is not in the budget. You make your own. You'll go online, look it up, and figure out what's best and natural for your family.
Oh, I love that because I think a lot of people are moving more toward the natural. They're now, like, I heard that gardening is like crazy and DIY stuff, and people are really, coming back to what's important and maybe not spending as much money on all of the things. So what has been your biggest, I'm curious to know, like over the past 10 months or so, like what is the biggest feedback you're hearing from your clients, from your circle, in your group? What are you hearing from them?
I'm hearing a lot that they are at home so much now that between uh, trying to stay safe and wearing masks, they've got the kids underfoot,
Mm.
the laundry's piling up, this is piling up. But that's where you've got to shift your mind and say, I'm okay with the laundry piling up. I am not the perfect Pinterest mom, and nor do I ever want to be.
Yes.
My laundry piles up too. My stuff, I'll take my finger in the dust. I look at the dust and it's like, I will get to it later. Families first in the
I
business.
love that. I think that's so important for people because oh, we just had a comment. Hello, Deanna. She said, hi, Deb. Hi, Val. Hello, hello. So I think that's really important for people to hear that, you know, the laundry pile might pile up, right? This is just a reality that the things might pile up. And that does not mean something about you as a mom, as a homemaker, as, you know, someone who's working in their business from home, whatever that is. Like, at the end of the day, if the laundry pile piles up, it might not be as big of a deal as what we say, right? Is what we're telling ourselves that it means about us. How were you able to, you know, kind of let go of that? I don't want to, I guess this word is, I hear this said a lot, and so I'm going to say this word, but like the mom guilt of that, feeling like women have to be, I feel like sometimes women feel like they have to be the perfect wife and then the cook and the chef and the perfect mom and do all the things. Like, how did you let go of some of that?
Actually, there's two ways to let go of it. One's mindset and one's a trick I learned. Laundry's piling up. You're looking for something to wear. Use that think about it. Use the opportunity. Pull something out of your closet you haven't worn in a long time. I don't care if it's a fancy blouse. Wear it for the day. It makes you feel better. Turn that around. Or even with the dishes, if the dishes are piling up and you're trying to get somebody to help, ask the little ones to soap up and play with the bubbles, soap up the dishes, and then you just rinse it and put it in the dish drainer.
Mm.
It's all a way of wrapping your mindset around it, looking at it from a more positive perspective. If you have to wash the clothes at night right before you go to bed, wash them, leave them in the washer, and tomorrow in the morning, turn them, shove them back in the dryer,
Mm.
Or if you get up in the middle of the night to check on the kids, put it in the dryer if you got heavy sleepers.
Mm. I love it because what I hear about that is like a resilience and a willingness to, you know, I have a motto in my life where it's like, I figure it out, right? Like I figure it out no matter what. And if it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? So sometimes people will say, well, how do you get all this done? I'm sure they look at you, Deb, and they're like, but how? You know, there can be a million excuses like I don't have the time, the kids, you don't understand what I'm going through. But what I'm hearing you say is like not making anybody wrong for having that reality of kids, pressure, you know, job, whatever that is, husband, all the things. But I'm hearing you say, you know, like you figure it out. And I love that. Is that something, and I know you are a strong woman. I know that. But like how did that, is that something you've always had, or is it something that you kind of cultivated over the years?
I know I've got it from my mom, but I think I got more of it as things went along.
Mm.
And while my husband was unemployed, he was home so much, and I still had to get my work done. He's underfoot. So I had to find those simpler, easier ways so
Mm.
that I can maybe play a game of Scrabble with him in the evening or something, because he's bored because he's looked for a job all day. He's getting disgusted. He wants some family time, so attention.
Mm.
I had to make that time. So I had to find simpler ways of doing things.
I think what you just said is so important for, you know, women, for men to hear, for everyone to hear, in that fact that, you know, I think that sometimes we get so busy in the doing, like the activities, all those things, and we get so focused on that we forget, you know, at the end of the day, our husbands and our family need us to just be with them. And so I think it's an important thing to hear.
It is. It's so true, because the more you're with the kids, or the more you try to spend some quality time with them, even if it's just 5 minutes reading a book to them, the more they're gonna know that you're there for them.
Mm.
And that guilt, that mom guilt will decrease.
Mm. I love that. That's it reminds me of just like priorities, like remembering at the end of the day what the priority is, that if those dishes stay in the sink all night, sometimes that's okay. Or if, the kids, their room's a little messy right now because they're home all the time, like at the end of the day, what really matters is that relationship and really creating the decorative life that you want to have, that you want to enjoy, not just be a part of.
Right. So, I have, when things go wrong, think, okay, how can I still lead a decorative life?
Mm,
I can put off the vacuuming till later. I'll
mm.
spend 5 minutes with the kids. And maybe I'll even let the little one play around with the vacuum in the living room.
I love that. There's always a way to get the kids. And Iona said, hello, Deb. Hello, Val. Hello. Our
I
other woman of wealth and worth. I love it. And Deanna says, I want to be on a Zoom with you. Yes, Deanna. We will chat, Deanna. I totally agree with what you said too. That's beautiful. And I'm curious to know, how did you take your unique passions? Like what helped you to really step into this, to creating a business? Because you're a lot like all the other speakers we've heard. And I'm saying this because of the fact that I want people to really, hold on to this, like that you saw something that you were good at, right? Like, and you start getting feedback from other people like, wow, people are coming to you, they're asking solutions. And for you, maybe it just seems so simple and easy. Same for a lot of the speakers we've shared. So how did you take that and, decide I'm going to do a business? And what was that process for you? Like, what was the deciding factor? How did that look for you?
Actually, after I noticed people were coming to me, I didn't put that two and two together yet. But right after that, I was going through a point in my life where I was experiencing a lot of hip pain, and I ended up in physical therapy for 3 months, 3 times a week. And my intuition started talking to me before I knew what mindset was.
Mm,
And it kept telling me on my way to the physical therapy, I kept feeling weird, like something was going to change and something was going to be different. And I finally, and it kept telling me that, it kept knocking me in the face.
mm,
So anyway, I, I started feeling happier once the pain started decreasing.
mm.
And the words blog came right out of my mouth. And I'm like, what? And then it dawned on me. 2 years ago, I said I wanted a blog. And I guess maybe that was when the mom started asking me for help.
Mm,
And I pushed it aside. But the intuition got the better of me. I've got the pain, and the pain led to the blog.
mm.
And I needed to focus on something else other than that pain. And I knew I had to do something better.
Mm. I love that, because you know what you did is you took that rock bottom moment. You took that moment where you were feeling the pain, you were doing something like, and you said, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to use this experience to help other people in the world. And that is so cool. Like that's resilience, that's grit, that's, using your story, which I was just talking to someone about this earlier, about how, like whatever our story is, like we can use that to really create a platform in the world to help other people. And it's crazy how, you've been able to walk through that and do that. And so from the blog where you started out, maybe you were writing out certain tips or tricks, like what has transpired? How has it evolved for you? And what does it look like today?
Oh, wow. It evolved into an author. It evolved to creating courses and offering group coaching for that little bit of extra help to set things up and to do things and to change your mindset along the way. And oh, I've started a paid membership group to help moms with a single training every month. It led to it's just growing.
So awesome. So what does that entail, like your paid membership group? So if somebody was like, I'm hearing this, I'm loving it. I want to be connected with other moms who get what I'm going through and also, have you as their mentor. What does that entail? What does that look like?
Well, it's a monthly training on Zoom where I'll pick a certain topic for the month. Or if I notice everybody wants a certain topic, like for example, an easier way of cleaning, I
Hmm.
have a special way of cleaning. And I will explain that to them in the group during that Zoom meeting. I'll explain it. And then we'll come back in a week and I'll answer any questions. We will set it up to how it fits your needs, your family, your lifestyle, because I want you to be comfortable with it. You have to have a system that works for you based on your needs. And that's basically what we do. And hopefully this system will work for you. And if you still have to tweak it later on, let me know and we will figure it out.
Mm, I love that. And it's nice too for, guidance. One of my clients had a baby a couple months ago and we were talking about that, like how different it was. She was 40 years old having her first baby. And I was like, man, it's so crazy because like if I had kids, I would not know what to do, right? Like I would have no clue. All of a sudden I have this thing that like a human that I'm caring for. And like, how do I bathe it? How do I do these things? So I'm thinking of like that new mom that maybe she's feeling like, am I doing this right? Am I doing life right? Am I doing like being a mom right? Am I doing this? Like what type of support is this going to offer her, if they were to come into your community or, get in your paid membership site, what kind of support would you be able to add to give them comfort in that?
Well, we do, or I should say, I do inspiration. I'm going to put inspiration tips in there. I'm going to write affirmations about your mindset as you're going through this process. We talk about that too, and saying them, because being a mom for the first time, nobody knows what to do with the baby. Nobody. You learn as you go along. And that thing is scary.
Mm.
You're up at night and after you put the baby to bed and you're like, I need a glass of wine. Yeah, that's a given. Nobody knows because every situation's different. So, but yeah, we have the mindset. I have the mindset work along the way, inspiration, inspiring you. I will put a little, depending on if I notice a lot of struggle going on there, I may put an extra video with a motivation in there,
Mm.
give you some extra tips. It depends on what you need at that time.
It's amazing. I love it because it is, like nobody, the funny thing is like, I don't think anybody has it figured out, having babies, being a mom, having a family, doing life. I don't think anyone really has it figured out, but not a lot of people are willing to actually say that. I feel like a lot of times people just kind of, especially in this day and age with social media, Instagram, all those things, it's really easy to look at other people's lives and think that they have it all figured out. Right. And the thing I love about you is you're willing to kind of go there, right? You're willing to say, I figured this out by having a struggle where my husband was laid off, he was fired or had different jobs throughout those 2 years. Like that's a pretty big thing that, some people I think try and gloss that over. So I love that you're real and raw and you're willing to say those things that other people are thinking, because I think it does create a lot of disconnect of like, look at their life and then you compare it to your own and you're like, I'm never going to measure up. Right.
Right. And that's all in a matter of way you think and the way you look at your life.
Yeah. Mindset. Right.
And I love sharing my stories because I don't want people to make the same mistakes I make.
Mm,
I want to prevent that.
I love it. And you have a son in college,
Yes, I do.
right? And I'm curious for you to share with us, how did he help inspire you to do this, to go out and be, have the blog, do the business, do all of those things?
Well, at that time, he was very social. he was out with his friends and doing this, doing that. And I'm at home cleaning and cooking and chauffeuring and maid and all that. And I'm thinking to myself, he's out there doing something. I need to be doing something. And lo and behold, helping moms with easier and simple household hacks and life tips and mindset. Home and mindset go together.
Mm. I'm glad you brought that up because especially during this time, I mean, I can only imagine. I know how lonely it is to be an entrepreneur yourself, much less a mom who maybe has younger kids that she doesn't really get interaction with other adults a lot, and now we're at home all the time. So I'm just imagining, like the community aspect of that would be so important for someone, especially during this time, to actually, maybe even have like a real conversation and ask people, how are you doing it? Because we don't have to have it all figured out. If we find great mentors, if we find people to surround us with who have experience doing it, then we can really, have comfort and ease of just knowing that someone's there walking with you.
Yes, I have a mom in the group now where she just needed to vent and say, I've got a 2-year-old underfoot all day. I can't get nothing done. And there was this conversation, and and she walked away feeling better because she knew she wasn't the only one. We had talked about it. We listened, we heard. So that's what comes out of that group too.
I love it because it's funny how just that feeling, I've had experiences in my life where it's like just sitting across from someone else and they understand. And lo and behold, I think I'm the only one going through it. I think I'm the only one having these thoughts in my head. And, just hearing someone else go, yeah, me too, I get it. There's so much comfort and so much camaraderie in that, of just knowing that someone else has gone through it with you. I love it.
Yes, things like that come up in the group.
Oh, I love that. That is so amazing. And I know that you have an offer for the group. So I would love for you to share about that. I know that you have a free gift for our audience today, and I would love for you to share about what it is.
Yes, my free gift is inspired by my husband. My husband is a big chili fanatic, and we did eat a lot of that during his unemployment, and I had to come up with new recipes. One of my most famous recipes is knock your socks off chili because it's spicy and he likes his spice. And there's other recipes in there that aren't so spicy. And that ebook has taken off like wildfire, and I'm going to eventually take that. I want to take it down by the end of the month, but only reason I'm leaving it up is because it's still going. So I will be sharing that link for the ebook, for the chili ebook with the recipe.
Yum! Thank you so much. We're making chili tonight. So I'm like, maybe I'll have to get that ebook first and get some tips from you, because us too, we like our food to be like so hot that we're sweating, but I don't know, that's just our taste. But and I love that you have an ebook with recipes, all of those things. I know that you do talk a lot about living your decorative life, your mindset, the recipes, the home hacks, all of that. And I know you also have a free Facebook group where people can connect with you as well. So can you share with us how to find you on that?
Well, if you remember Deb's Decorative Life, you can add to it Deb's Decorative Life tips and inspiration.
Perfect. Yeah, and I think I put it up in the comments as well, so people can jump on there and find you. So where else can people connect with you? I know you have a website, social media. Share with us how we can connect.
Oh, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Pinterest. I'm any of those that's under Deb's Decorative Life.
I love it. Easy to find. Good branding. I like that. So for anyone who's watching right now and they're thinking, this sounds really good, and I want to jump in, I want to get in on your group, I want to do, work with you, all those things. I'm just wondering if you have any tips, tricks, advice that you could leave us with that you could share, maybe for the mom that's wondering, how am I going to live my decorative life? How am I going to, in my circumstance, whatever that is, can you give us like a couple of tips or tricks or just ideas that we could use to take away?
Well, first of all, you have to remember one affirmation to start your day with. And it is, I can, I will, I am strong enough.
Mm,
And when things start going wrong, you start saying, I can, I will, I am strong enough. And then you start looking at, okay, what is getting me about this day? The kids are underfoot. I can, I will, I'm strong enough. And you got to take a deep breath, pull in that strength,
mm,
and maybe grab your child's little hand, take them
mm,
into the bedroom, pull out a car and go zoom, 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 zoom. How can you turn this around?
mm,
Grab a little book, grab their favorite book, try to read them a story. The trick is to keep thinking, how can I change this for the better?
mm.
Because once you start thinking positive, miracles happen.
Oh,
And that's what you got to
beautiful.
remember.
I love that. That is so beautiful. Like once you start thinking differently, then miracles happen, and just remaining strong. Because I can imagine for the past couple months, the past almost year, it just blows my mind. It's almost been a year. I mean, how hard it would be for a mom to be all these things to their kids, and dads too, be all these things to their kids, try and stay strong when they're falling apart and try and be that. And I think what you just shared with us is a great tip for that, whatever a parent is going through, because we can't all stay 100% positive all the time, all year round, but knowing that you can just draw in that power, take a deep breath, and that starts with you. I love it. It's
Yes.
beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Deb. It has been so awesome to have you on here. I am just so grateful for you, as you know, and I'm so glad that you were able to come on here and just share your tips and tricks about living a decorative life. I'm very excited about your ebook, so everyone go check that out. You'll put the comments in the link, and get the ebook because this chili sounds amazing. I can't wait to try it out. I'm gonna go download it. So thank you so much, and I hope that everyone has an amazing day. And thanks again, Deb. And we will see you guys. Oh, good.
And thank you, Val, so much. Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to hop back on in just a little bit to wrap us up for day 10, the last day of the 2021 Hope Business Summit. Bye.